Have you ever noticed how a sandcastle crumbles bit by bit when the tide comes in? Just like that sandcastle, the world's population is getting smaller bit by bit. But why does this happen? Well, it's a bit like a story, so sit tight and let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Imagine a big family that has 10 kids. Now, feeding, clothing, and taking care of 10 kids is a lot of work, right? So the parents decide that if they have fewer kids, they can give them more stuff and more attention. This is a simple way to understand why the world's population is decreasing. More and more families around the world are choosing to have fewer children. There's another reason too. You know how we get older every year, right? Well, in many places around the world, there are more people getting older than there are babies being born. It's like having more grandparents than grandkids. When there are more people growing old than young ones being born, the overall population starts to shrink. Now, this isn't happening everywhere. Some places are more affected than others. For example, countries like Japan and Italy are seeing their populations decrease quite rapidly. In Japan, there are fewer babies being born and more people living longer, which is causing the population to drop. In Italy, many young people are choosing not to have children, which also leads to fewer people in the country overall. But why does this matter? Well, imagine a school with more teachers than students. It becomes harder for the school to run because there are not enough students for the teachers to teach. Similarly, when a country's population declines, there might not be enough people to do important jobs, which can make things more difficult for everyone. So to wrap up our story, the world's population is declining because families are choosing to have fewer children, and in many places, more people are getting older than there are babies being born. Countries like Japan and Italy are particularly affected by this trend, and this matters because a declining population can make it harder for a country to function. Remember, just like the sandcastle, changes don't happen all at once. They happen little by little, over time. And just as we can build a new sandcastle, we can also find new ways to manage these changes in our world's population. After all, every story has its twists and turns, and this one is no different. So keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep learning, because the world is full of fascinating stories just waiting for you to uncover.